Okay, folks, I've got a low battery because my camera is so cold. I feel the need to let you in on what the situation is here this morning. Okay, so what is this about? Day number 4 of the Texas
It's day number
Vortex of
132.
Arctic Vortex of 2021. This has been quite an experience. I'm going to tell you right now that sometimes in situations like this, your generator can end up being your lifeline. We've been trying to keep the water from freezing inside the camper. With the advantage of hindsight, if we'd known it was going to go on like this and be this bad, we would have taken measures to winterize it. Even though I didn't bring the things to winterize it, I would have had to have bought the things to winterize the camper. That would have been one less thing that I had to worry about. So the power went out at 4:30, so it's over 24 hours since the power initially went out. Before that, I couldn't believe that we had power because we had about 3 days of the ice sticking to everything and the branches down. And this is in the hill country in Texas where probably 6 days ago it was like 80 degrees and we were worried about air conditioning. And then it got down into the single digits last night and the night before, and the power out. And now they have rolling blackouts. So your power is on for like an hour and then it's off for an hour. But our camper either has to be plugged into the generator or plugged into the pedestal outside for our power. So waking up in the night trying to figure out if the power was on or off and switching it over. So we opted at one point to just leave it plugged in and figured that would charge our batteries enough for our furnace. So we're worried about, first of all, staying warm enough, and then the water freezing. So if our furnace doesn't run, then the water in the motorhome will be frozen and we could end up with broken pipes. Well, we woke up yesterday morning and we had the cold water was running, the hot water wasn't running. Woke up this morning, neither one of the waters were running. We had to turn the furnace down to about 65. Now we have the motorhome running because it has a heat exchanger that goes into the back off the radiator coolant, runs all the way to the back, and it's got a fan on it. So that puts extra heat into the rig, and it goes around the water heater. And we have the heat on up front. So it heats it up pretty good in here. Plus it puts some heat underneath where the water lines run. I cranked up the furnace to 70. Thank God the generator started back up again. So I've got the cold water running now in the sink in the kitchen. Still no cold water in the toilet or the bathroom sink. And the hot water is still frozen. So that hasn't unthawed. The sun came out yesterday. It was probably in the 20s, but the sun felt really good. You were able to open the windows and the windows actually dried off because the windows on the passenger side of the camper are completely a block of ice, and on the other side where the sun was, you could get them to dry off from the sun. I put the solar panel out yesterday, figuring that this could go on for days and at least we'd be getting some solar charge into our house batteries. So we put the slide in because we got 4 inches of snow on top of all that ice, and we were worried about something just stopped.
The heater.
Oh, just so every time something stops, I'm worried that generator quits. We are really screwed. So this has been quite the experience, I will tell you. You could say, and everybody does say, if they're not RVers, oh, we've seen it be 20, 30 below at our house. Yeah, so have we. And you sleep like a baby because we have insulation, we have most times electricity, we have heat. The house is made for that. An RV is not. You have to spend a lot of money to get an RV that's made for this kind of weather, and this one just isn't. So it's been very cozy in here, you might say. I'm going to show you this direction. My lovely wife over here, who's
watching for the light.
we hooked up a light to the 50 amp power. So when the power comes on, a light comes on outside. What is it? It's about 10 minutes to 7. Still very dark out. The slide is in. We just made coffee from the generator running. So we have coffee. You're going to notice it might look a little messy. We were all set up. We even had to move sites because we're in a site that had a big old tree, and the limb got so heavy from the ice it was hitting the roof of the camper. So we're in a site now with no trees above us, so that part is good. She's got her dog she can cuddle up with. Turbo is up front. He was so cold we had to put a down jacket on top of him. As you can see, it's just wall-to-wall blankets and pillows.
It's a mess. It's driving me crazy.
And you're not going to see a picture of it in any RV brochures anytime soon. And as you can see, Dixie's cage takes up half the living room.
As she lays on the couch.
And she could care less. This is just mommy and daddy time for her. At least we're here with her, and she can run here. There's the dog park. So our refrigerator, thank God, is still running good on propane. I did notice, because it's been back and forth so much, the ice cream did get a little bit soft. Okay, so back here, this is where the heat comes out. Right underneath here, you can see. So the heat comes out for the furnace there, but for the heat exchanger that comes off the motor is there. So in the bathroom, the park has no water whatsoever. Everything is froze. Oh, okay. So we have cold water back here. So my plan of heating this thing up is actually working. That we didn't have that before, so we probably have it. Yeah. So we have water in the toilet and the sink now. So that's a plus. I have the actual. You'll see in here, so that we can get more heat. We had already replaced this hot water heater. $500 you're looking at right there. We don't need that froze. We took the drawers out. We know we're not going to be able to take a shower under these circumstances. So in here, we have the drawers. We have our little washer stored in there, and the drawers stored away in there. So when things go back to normal, things inside here will go back to normal. But in the meantime, it's basically survival mode, and try not to have a ruined motorhome when all this is over. And they're not really calling here in the hill country in Texas for warmer weather till what, Friday? Then it's supposed to be in the 50s.
Tomorrow it's supposed to be in
40s tomorrow. So even the 40s will be better. And it was perfect weather here before this happened. It was like low to mid 70s, and going to be getting warmer because they're heading into spring. So we got this up on 70 now. It's warming up in here. Of course, the generator's going, the hot water heater's on, the water pump is on. But keep those generators exercised, because when you need your generator, you really need your generator. Even if you're going somewhere that has electricity, you might not keep the electricity like you think you're going to. So that is our public service announcement for the morning. And that's the news, pretty much live from the Texas polar vortex.